Good morning, everyone. Wow, what an exciting morning. Not exciting for people losing money. Very unfortunately, woke up this morning, saw the tweet, and I thought, hey, I'm a security person. I should go. I should go figure out what's going on. So that's what I did. Spent the last 45 minutes on and off just consuming on tweet. A lot of good tweets out there. I will definitely be highlighting a lot of good information. So to tell you, what I think, what I've seen so far, all that stuff. There's a lot more to it than just Ledger. We'll get into it. But again, good morning, everyone. We'll go to the chat real quick and then we'll get into the details. Got a lot of stuff to cover. So Hexhodl says, why use open source Trezor? Yeah, so this affects more than Ledger. So doesn't affect your wallet in particular. This is a library that got compromised. It's a supply chain attack. Basically, the devs have all these libraries they use for a lot of different stuff. And the one that Ledger had produced, they had produced a library that a lot of different websites and stuff use. So we'll get into the different ones, revoke.cash and otherwise. So this is not just a Ledger wallet thing. This is something that affects like DAPPS and stuff that you connect to. So even if you're using a Trezor, because it still could be affected, we'll talk about that. So what's up, Red Squirrel? Good to see you. That's reputation go fast. They did some controversial things, I've heard, the last little bit. Yeah, do not use revoke.cash. I think we'll talk about they pushed new versions of stuff. So I'm not going to say to use anything right now. I'm good. I guess I'm assuming everything is still compromised until we get a lot of clearance and a lot of people talking about it, a lot of confirmation. But we'll get into, I think Ledger themselves have pushed a new version of the library. So it does look to be fixed on the library side. So again, applications. So what is a library? I'll go through this real quick. It is a reusable package, a reusable piece of code. So instead of everyone writing everything from scratch all the time, they'll write a library. Like somebody will write a library, and the library is just, again, reusable pieces of code, reusable functions that, oh, you wrote a library. Now when I create a new product, I don't have to reuse the code all the time. I can, there's a bunch of different libraries for Ethereum. So when you're making ERC, the reason the ERC20 token is a, click, you can make it today is because all these different libraries that come together and make it so easy to use instead of everyone writing it from scratch from the original protocol and docs and stuff like that. So again, I'm not calling it safe right now. I assume everything is, all the things that are affected, they're using libraries still compromised until we get a lot of confirmations. But I'll get into the details in a minute. Hope you like technical details because I'm going to give you my best analysis that I could do after 45 minutes of reading stuff. Movement, welcome. No for T shares. Special shout out to you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you, Hexhodl. What's happening? Morning. Notice I didn't say good morning. Just heard a bunch of Trezor switch over. This is not a use a Trezor in your safe type of thing. I know it's kind of sounds that way. Ledger they produce this library that a lot of other websites use. So it's not really, it's not a wallet thing. I'm not going to talk about which wallets and stuff I use, but if I were using Ledger, I wouldn't be like not using Ledger because of this, but it is kind of a black eye that it happened, but it's not wallet specific. What's up, Russ? Free speech. Always like my free speech. Christ averted. Yep. Things have been fixed. All the stuff is new in the past hours. Yep, exactly. Modern news with Max. Yeah, I don't do a lot of news or breaking news stuff, but that's what I do. Anyways, let me. Of course, Lunacy Point. Thanks for joining us here. Appreciate you. Let me get into it. A lot to get into. Been trying to format this to see exactly where to start. Let's start with the original. Tweet. So shout out to Bant G here. This is the first one I saw. Saw a lot of people retweeting otherwise. Ledger library confirmed compromise replaced with a drainer. Wait out interacting with any DApps until this becomes clear. Good advice. So if you see here. So if you go to the original, so this is what it looks like now. This is the library, the files you can access here of what it looks like. Connect Kit. So this is Ledger Connect Kit. This is like a very important library. It allows you, you use it to connect to Ledger wallets and stuff with websites. So why wouldn't a lot of people or a lot of websites use this, right? Like it's the thing to do that you need to talk to a lot of different Ledger devices and otherwise. So a lot of websites are going to support this. They're going to consume the library, and that's why this is such a big deal. So you can see it now. It doesn't look like that, right? Before, they didn't even try to obfuscate it. It was like, at least normally, like when you, again, I have a security background. This is stuff that I deal with a lot. This is kind of one of my specialties, is analyzing what this stuff means, how it affects stuff. I come from a traditional security background, and then I kind of just use that knowledge to figure out all this crypto stuff. I have been for years now, a couple of years at least, I guess, since I've been paying much more attention to it, since I say, hey, security is important here too, right? So this is, yeah, they didn't even try to obfuscate it. Normally it would look like, honestly, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, is it still there? Because this looks, very like minimized, very obfuscated, not obfuscated, but no, like when you look at code. So for example, if you go to, well, I might as well just do this. You got to go real DeFi and you click on, I'll just click, I'll make it simple. Click on any of the apps. This is the, I've said 21 lines of code, right? And you go to view page source. You can see this is nicely formatted. It's got all this stuff. It's, really easy to read. You can tell nothing bad's going on. It's got all the hashes there. 21 lines of code, super easy to read. If you go over here, it's very minimized. It's very, they do it for a reason. But anyways, attackers a lot of times will minimize it and obfuscate it and make it look like all this, like, what does all this stuff mean, right? It's a bunch of stuff. It's very hard to read versus something that's very easy to read. So at first I was like, oh, is it still there? Like, is it like hidden in here? I just don't see it. And then I realized, okay, compare the two. And actually this one is not minimized. It's not obfuscated. It's not any of this stuff. It's just kind of, it's, I guess, a little minimized, but anyways, much more clear to see this stuff, minimal drain value. It's like they didn't even try, to hide it there. So that's the first thread. And this is what kind of, you can see the difference between, you can see this is not like that anymore. So they have updated it. But I wanted to get into to show you exactly what it looked like. So if we look at the photo, so I'll drop this link in the chat as well. Again, I appreciate a lot of people doing a lot of good commentary. It helps me understand it, come up to speed really quick too. So it looks like what was actually happening, and I'm not sure if you can still see this or not. Again, I'm not sure if things are fixed. I'm not gonna go to any DAPPS right now and find out. But you could see a malicious connect pop-up is opening on top of the actual one. So you can see here, this is the normal one you see pops up, says, hey, connect to the wallet, and there's another one. So this is apparently the malicious one that's going to get you to connect and try to trick you into do a transaction or stuff like that. So this is what it actually looks like. So I might take a screenshot here, and it looks like they're looking at some more of the code here, and they probably like made it all nice to read and simplified and all this stuff too. So even revoke.cash, again, this is not like a rumor or anything. Warning: multiple popular crypto applications that integrate with Ledger's Connect Kit library, including revoke.cash, have been compromised. We temporarily took the website offline and investigating further. So yeah, it's a big deal. It's when you can't use your DAPPS today. If only there was a way to decentralize things via IPFS. Tell you, ahead of the curve. Richard's always ahead of the curve, huh? Short-term pain, of course, but long-term gain. Short-term pain, long-term gains. Anyone said that before? Should I coin that one? I'm sure somebody said it before. So that's what it looks like. Let's understand this a little bit better. First, let me put in the actual, so anyone, let me click off the bridge here, give myself some more space. So what is it actually? This is Connect Kit. Let's go to Connect Kit and take a look. So I'll drop this in here. This is what's happening right now. This is what's affected. So Connect Kit, again, very important library, like one of the core things, I imagine. Ledger DAPPS Connect Kit enables developers to connect their DAPPS to Ledger hardware wallets using the Ledger extension Ledger Live. We will guide the user to install the extension, in this case, supporting the platform. So again, this is why a lot of sites support that, because they want to support Ledger and all this easy Connect Kit stuff. Again, a library is just a reusable piece of code. So again, they're everywhere. There's libraries for everything in crypto and not crypto and everything. So either the company themselves, like Ledger in this case, they'll say, hey, let's create this library. Now instead of asking Revoke or whoever else to say, hey, can you write some code that connects to your stuff? Like, hey, here's the package. Instead of writing, 500 lines of code to connect to our ledger device or whatever whatever the library is supposed to do, here's an example. Here's like 5 lines of code of how to connect to it, and you see some examples and stuff here too, and it makes everything easier. So libraries are good. They're like a core fundamental piece of development and coding and all that stuff. But here's the problem: supply chain. Who's hosting the library? So usually there's some kind of repository or place, or CDN in this case. It's just like CDNs just kind of geolocate content to get it quicker to you based on your location. Just makes things faster and stuff. Content delivery network, CDN. So whoever's supporting it or hosting it, if they get hacked, they get compromised, then whoever is consuming it, whoever is going, in their app, they're saying, pull this library from here and use it. Whoever is doing that, they're also downloading whatever code is there. If the code is compromised, then whatever is using the code get compromised as well. Kind of like saying, you're only as strong as your weakest code, your weakest package, right? Kind of like that. Like, it doesn't matter if it's your package or not. If you're consuming it and you're running it, then it might as well be your code. There's no difference as far as the computer is concerned. So that's ConnectKit. Want to understand that as well. Let's see what else we got. Some other, that's what it looks like. I'll leave that there for a second. So again, just to kind of recap a little bit. We talked about supply chain, security transactions. So, and again, this isn't specific to Ledger. If you use a wallet, it gets, at least assume that if you connect to any DApp, regardless of using Ledger, MetaMask, whatever, does not matter. If you connect to a DApp that is compromised, that's using this library, it's compromised, it could, get you to do a malicious transaction. It could get you to, click on the pop-up or whatever. So I don't know. Is today just stay away from DAPPS day, or just use the PulseChain DAPPS, right? There you go. PulseChain.com. So it's, again, want to make that clear, not just Ledger stuff. This is not a reason to go get it. If you want to go get stop using Ledger because this happened, then that's your own personal choice. But certainly doesn't look good when your code gets compromised. But hey, people get hacked all the time. These companies in the world get hacked, so it's not, you're gonna stop using the iPhone because your iPhone needs security updates. It's like, that's not the reason I would do it. Again, this is transaction based. So if you connect to a DApp and you click on the malicious connection, click on the stuff that it presents, maybe you sign or you approve. It's not approval based. It's either signing or sending transaction, broadcasting transaction using a compromised site, which is using the code. Then it could take your money. And speaking of that, how much money has been compromised so far? There's a tweet for that. Let me see. Over half. It's a half. Let's see. Pull this up. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'm going to get to chat in just a second. I just want to get through this. Looks like 610K drained so far. Wow. Yes. So over $500,000 $500,000. Yeah. It's like, all right, it's early. $500,000 drained so far. I'm sure, unfortunately, the number will go up. I hope not. I hope that all the websites pull all the updates. I'm sure everyone's on conference calls right now. Hey, you got to stop this. Like, people are getting woken up, and I'm sure everyone's taking this very seriously and trying to figure this out. But yeah, that sucks. I hate to see people lose money, because when they lose money, they're going to get frustrated and angry. That's less money they could use to buy good products. That's less, motivation they're going to have to think this whole thing isn't one Ponzi scam, thing they don't want to deal with. I mean, it's just pain, and say, let's reduce suffering in the world, right? Like, it's not cool to do this type of stuff. Not cool to take money from people like that. I don't like that. Do not like that. So I'll stop there for a minute. Let's see. I'll pull this one up more. One more. Just while I'm taking chat so you guys can see some stuff. And not wallet's not the problem, it's the DApp Connect 2 in the ledger code. If you use a compromise, transaction compromise DApp, it can drain. Yep, exactly. And I thought that was a good basics explainer here too. Let me see if I can pull that up. There was one more I thought was pretty good. Maybe I didn't put it on. Okay, I'll leave that one here for now. I'll go to chat. So give me 1 second. Sorry about my voice as well. Again, when you just wake up, you don't have the best voice. Not that I had a silky smooth voice before, but a little bit more rough. What's up, UFO? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Shout out to all the Australian Mexicans out there. I'm not touching. I agree, free speech. I agree. No panel ban in crypto. I know every time some of this stuff happens, it's like you figure out you figure out how good decentralization is and how good you don't want to rely on this stuff. Every time your bank, it's like, no, we don't like crypto people, or, some service you want to use is down. Figure this stuff out real quick, but it takes a jolt sometimes. Does it affect software wallets? It affects any wallet. As far as I understand, it affects any wallet, regardless of ledger or not, that the website is using a ledger library. This particular ledger library, they got compromised. So again, I would not touch any website until we get tons and tons of confirmation today that they're all fixed. Until revoke.cash itself, its Twitter account, tweets, everything's good now. We're all fixed. Or at least revoke.cash is fixed and stuff. I'm not connecting my wallet to any side outside of the PulseChain and Hex stuff today, which is IPFS, which, interesting. You know what? I'm not going to connect my website to anything just in case. I wonder if those dApps are affected. I'm not sure. Wonder if they use that library as well. I don't know. Maybe everything's affected. Who knows? So I'm sure if they are, our devs will push out some stuff too. So there we go. I'm just not going to connect to. No, because they would need to publish a new version. If they, I'm going to say chances are they don't. I'm going to go with that. Again, don't quote me on this. Don't make decisions based on what I'm saying. But I would think the compromise happened in a limited window. So supply chain attacks usually happen very quickly. And within a window, and between different versions too, depending on when they're caught. So interesting. We'll find out more today. I'm reacting this an hour into it, so I'm not sure. Definitely look out for any. So let me put this up here because this may be the most useful to understand too. Again, look at the Connect wallet here, and you can see that's displayed over top of the legit one. So if you ever see anything like that, again, I just wouldn't go to any websites today that take a day off from crypto, right? Like you can take a day off from crypto if you want there. But if you ever see anything that looks like two pop-ups, not click on that. That fasting 48 hours. That's a good idea, actually. I like that. Don't need to make a transaction. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. Don't know your personal situation. Ledger's failed many times now. Yeah. I mean, it's probably not the last one either. It's not like the last time anything with Ledger, Trezor, they're all, I mean, who knows about it, man? I like just paper, metal, and hashtag I'm a paper metal guy. I mean, I like hardware wallets too. Just saying. You really want to be safe and not trust anyone, just don't have a computer and or little computer devices. And, just scrolling down. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, like I explained most of what I think here. What's the news on NFTs having an explorable attack surface? Thanks. I don't know. I mean, again, this is a transactions for with DAPPS, with compromised sites. So felt ledger always. So it's not really a NFT specific or anything. So I don't think there's anything specific to them from what I understand. Again, we're an hour into this. I'm giving you the best information I can understand right now. But to my knowledge, I don't see anything specific with them. What's up, Crypto Stylist? Good morning. Good morning to you. Again, if you have any questions, get them in. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up because that's what I know. That's what I know so far. I keep it around 30 minutes. Oh, GameSys, what's up, man? Good to see you. GameSys is a technical guy, if I remember. Ledger Connect Kit Loader loads the latest 1x build of Connect Kit during runtime, so even if the devs don't install the effective package, it can still be vulnerable. Yeah, that's right. I did see about it grabbing the latest one. Yeah. If the devs don't install the effective package. Yep. Automatic deployment, all that stuff, which again helps when it's patched too. Those technically are patched. Yeah. Vote tweet updated. Oh, cool. Let me check that out. Let me check it out. Let's go back to let's search for revoke cache. Yeah, usually this stuff's pretty quick to patch. 1 hour. Okay, update. We've removed the exploit dependency from revoke.cache and reopened the access website again. While many websites have been fixed, we still don't recommend not using any crypto websites for the rest of the day. So far this timeline is about, oh, sweet. We got a timeline. So between 11 and 12 UTC, Ledger Connect Kit got compromised. Yep, that's what I was saying. So it's usually small windows, and then people find out pretty quick. Sometimes it can take months or weeks, but usually when it's like these days when software is moving very fast and libraries and a lot of people are using it, usually people notice, especially something so obvious like that. Like they didn't even try to hide it. I mean, thankfully, so we found out sooner. Around 12:30 UPC, this exploit became under researchers. At 12:50, our team was made aware of the issue. 12:55, we took the website offline. Between 1300 and 1400, Ledger Connect Kit with dependencies were updated, removed, reopened access. Sweet. Exploit checker. Yeah, they have a cool exploit checker too. Very good to hear. So revoke is back. I'll just click on revoke, check it out. Access is back. Sweet. All right. Whew. Yeah, very fast response from them. So congrats to them. PulseX, zero-day attack. I think people, again, I come from security background, so it's like I use it very specifically. I think a lot of people use that broadly to mean just like an unknown attack or something. To me, a 0-day is something that, I mean, what is actually in the security industry, what is known to be a 0-day, is a vulnerability. So you say 0-day attack out. Let's start with 0-day. What is a 0-day? 0-day is a vulnerability in a product that has been found, and whoever finds it, it's their bug. They decide what to do with it. They can, they can research it and they can send it off to the company or open source project, whatever. Say, hey, I found this bug. You fix it. They don't have to do anything. They can just keep it. They can just play with it for fun, whatever. I mean, there's literally security people who just enjoy the research. They enjoy finding bugs and stuff. It's fine. And then there's people who use it for bad stuff, right? They will take advantage of it. They'll try to trick people into using it, or they'll use it to compromise websites or servers or whatever. So that's a 0-day vulnerability, basically. An exploit is when code is written to use the 0 day, to use the vulnerability, to make it actually do something other than just crash or just show you a proof of concept or just show you, hey, this thing is this. It's like actually putting a payload in it, putting something that will execute code, or, in this case, the payload is like open up a fake connect thing to connect with air stuff instead of the legit one, so we can compromise, do all this stuff. So that's 0 day vulnerability, exploit, and an attack. You would just say in this, using in this way is just when it's actually deployed. So you have the exploit, you have the way to use it, however that manifests, and then you actually put it into, you deploy it, right? You actually, so in this case, it would be taking the library and replacing it with a malicious one. So compromising the library, actually putting the new code in the library to compromise it. And then whoever's pulling from that library, revoke.cache or otherwise, gets compromised because they're using the new code that's been, the malicious code has been inserted into. So interesting question. Again, I know I'm getting very specific, but that's my background here. Would I call this a 0 day attack? Well, there's no 0 day. There's no vulnerability here. No vulnerability, not a traditional vulnerability. It's more of just a compromise. So the vulnerability would be like, Chrome has this bug where you click on a web page and it takes over your phone or your computer or whatever. That'd be a vulnerability in software, right? This is just somehow we don't know how the code got compromised. It could be just, they could have just got the developer's password or something and their keys, and they're like, oh, now we can push code to here. Was that because of vulnerability, or was it because the developer clicked on some bad link and it got him to this place? It could be they could have used a vulnerability to hack a server or website or something that had keys on it that got them access to this, or some other session that was already there. So I wouldn't call this a 0 day attack. I would call this just a supply chain attack. Which I kind of talked about that a little bit before, where there wasn't some vulnerability that was exploited to make all this happen directly. There could have been, tangentially related. There could have been vulnerability exploited to give them access to push this code, unless literally the website to push the code had a vulnerability and they use that. I guess that's a possibility, but normally in supply chain attacks, somebody's password gets stolen, developer gets compromised, whatever, and then they just push new code. So it's not really 0 day attack, it's just a supply chain attack, which could have been a 0 day attack, but it's kind of, I guess, supply chain attack would be the superset here, and then it could be 0 day attack, it could be compromised keys or all that stuff too. 1.5x getting in the house. I can't do it, man. Some people talk about that, doing 1.5x. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like to listen fast. I like to listen normal speed and consume. And my brain will automatically adjust if somebody's talking faster. 1.75x. I have to think sometimes, okay? I have to stop. Would you rather me think and talk or not think and talk? I prefer the latter, but let's see. Back, man, I never can pronounce your name, but I know you. BPK DASBomb. PulseX IPFS using CDN link, but the libraries are built in, should load from CDN. Oh, sweet. That's actually good to know. So that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I don't think if it's built as a package in the app, they're not going to be automatically updated, because then that will change the package and all this stuff. So what the piece I didn't have in this was the timeline, and now we have the timeline. So if this is a correct timeline, that would mean that it got compromised during a time when the IPFS apps were already built. They're built, some of them weeks ago, right? Or at least days ago. So they wouldn't have pulled it at that time unless they were building the app at this particular time in this very, very short window. So more than likely, doesn't seem to be, which is very good to know. But I need to know the timeline to understand that, and I need to know when the IPFS apps were built. So very good to know. If that is the case, then that would mean that Hex, PulseChain, IPF apps are okay. However, again, wait for confirmation. I agree, but I don't think so. I'm sure Brett Tapp. We're gonna start calling him Brett. We're just gonna keep calling him Brett Tapp forever. Brett Up, like some crazy name. He doesn't have a crazy name. His name's Brett Paulson, I believe. But you did it to yourself, Brett. You made that your nickname. Shout out to Brett. You're awesome, man. Very good to know. Very good. Appreciate the information on that. And we had the timeline so I could put 2 and 2 together. Tap the like and support Max viewers. Appreciate that. Pitties affected? I do not know. That is a good question. I'm not using any DAPPS today until every DApp tweets and tells me they have investigated this, they have determined they are not affected, then I will use them again. But until then, yeah, I'm taking a day off. Crypto. Hashtag no transaction day. How about that? Or use a burner wallet. Again, I don't want to give any advice here. Or I will use a burner wallet if I need to test something or otherwise. Or because if you have a burner wallet, so basically the idea is you send. By the way, appreciate that, Neil. Appreciate that. If you send, so say you want to make a transaction, but you have a bunch of coins on your wallet. If you have a burner wallet, something that you don't care if it gets compromised, and you just want to make a small transaction. If I want to make, let me speak for myself here. I want to make a small transaction. I would take whatever it is from the wallet I use day to day or whatever, my common wallet, my main wallet, my whatever. I would send that amount to my burner wallet, which if it gets compromised, I only would lose that plus a little bit of gas or whatever I have, and then I would make a transaction. Not telling anyone to do that. Just saying, if you have to make a transaction, if I have to make a transaction today, I don't think I'm not going to use my other wallet from what I can see so far. If you want the facts, what's RHMax? I want that t-shirt, man. I make t-shirts, but probably should make a t-shirt about myself. I'm trying not to do that, but pretty cool catchphrases here today. Appreciate you, UFO to go. Thank you, Par Excellence. Yeah, I feel like, this was kind of a, I have like I said, I have a security background, and I can, I'm capable of analyzing all this stuff and giving you what I believe to be good information. Not saying I'm always right, like that. I think I can understand it because of my background a lot better than most. So. Let's see. Oh, another update. All Hex, PulseChain, PulseX bridge wizards be safe using should use one specific safe library, not pull automatically CDNs. Yes. Yep. That's what I was thinking earlier. Yeah. They would be built with a specific library that was not compromised within the window, more than likely, and would not be pulling from CDNs. I agree. Good analysis, man. Appreciate you. Game system peak. Yeah. Some key got leaked, maybe their SSH key, their NPM key, their authorization key to push code in some way. That's a thing you don't think about much. Everyone's like, oh, vulnerability, all this stuff. A lot of times, it's like I said earlier, you're only as safe as your weakest library. You're only safe as the thing that everyone else's code you pull from is safe. You're only safe as your devs too, because devs are powerful, right? Like they have access to the code. There's a lot of ways to improve that, right? We did 2FA, we did, different kinds of 2FA, some better and worse. There's different ways when you push code. You need like a +1, you need or a +2, or you need multiple people to approve it before code gets pushed. You need multiple people to review it. A lot of different ways that have made it harder for this to happen. However, you got to use them, you got to deploy it. A lot of security posture of new projects. It's not secure. People don't have security teams, right? Big companies do, small startups don't. Crypto teams, good luck. So it pays to have somebody knowledgeable about security around so they can help you with that stuff. I don't provide services to the community like that. However, I do streams, and I do Yeah, let me put my blog up real quick. If anyone, obviously I haven't covered this, but I've covered a lot in the background. Let's see. So I have two I'll put in the chat here. If you really want to understand a lot of this stuff, I did a whole series on smart contracts and malicious smart contracts and stuff. So I'll put them in the chat. Feel free to check that out. I go through a lot of different ways. Yeah, this was last year. Information is still very, very solid as far as how this stuff works. Teaches you, what MetaMask approvals, what the different stuff means, what the different attacks are, how to make sure you're safe, audits, all this stuff. And then let me go to my Twitter real quick, because spell my own name wrong. Recently, I did a rewind of, let's see. Oh, I did at the top, didn't I? Yeah, I did a rewind of stuff that I've created in the past 2023 too. And one of them was an entire week of security content. So if you just search for RHMax Security Week, me and Ben, shout out to Ben Dubard, me and Ben did like how to understand a lot of these different concepts, hardware wallets, and we had B9 guys on the last day. What else? Telegram, Discord, antiviruses, VPNs, like what's legit, what's real, Tor, all this stuff. Should you use Windows? Pro tip: no. I like Mac and Linux. When using Windows, not using Windows gets rid of a lot of problems. So check that out if you're interested. Just search RHMax Security Week. You'll get hours and hours of content. Did a whole week on security stuff. Put it back on. What were we looking at before? Cache. Yeah, timeline. What else we got? You guys got some good comments. I'm going to stay a few more minutes here. Every type of serious type. I know that's what everyone says. At least it's like, yeah. I broke it down. If you're interested, if you just joined, I broke down like what 0-day different stuff is. It's probably compromised. Update published with email. Accurate details. Supply chain. Yeah, some sort of interesting to see. I'm sure they'll have a breakdown. Like Ledger themselves will probably publish a breakdown that goes even further with this stuff. Access token. Yeah, that's the thing. You just need, if you're not using 2FA and you're not using other forms of authentication, if you're just, the different keys that give you access to the different stuff, in this case, the NPM packages, libraries, ways to push code that stuff uses. Yeah, exactly. The Git repo didn't change. It was just the NPM package. Exactly. Read my mind. Rabbit wallet says they're unaffected. Do not connect any DAPPS. Yeah. So what they mean by that, I imagine, is no wallets are affected, but the DAPPS that are consuming the compromised code are affected. So its attack doesn't rely on the wallet as much as it relies on you connecting a wallet to a site that is compromised using a library that is built from Ledger. If that makes sense. Exploit only affect Ledger's connecting DAPPS. No, affects, yeah, what I just said. It connects. It assume any wallet connecting to any DApp that is pulling Ledger code is affected. That's a safe and general way to think about it. Could be nuance there, but in general, that's the way we're currently thinking about it. Going on an hour and a half, 2 hours in, or I guess what they released it. That tweet came out at like 4 a.m., 7 a.m. my time. So we're going on 2 or 3 hours here. Depending on when the website loads, affect the Ledger library could be used for trans. When the website loads, affect the Ledger library could be potentially used for executing transactions to other wallets. Not sure I understand on that, game sis. Could be used for executing other wallets. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, so if it loads the Ledger code, then if it gives you that pop-up, remember that fake pop-up? Anything that consumes Ledger code, yeah, any website that consumes that Ledger library, whether you're using Ledger or not, and gives you a fake pop-up that you interact with, that is fake, that is not real. This is real. This is not real. Hopefully you can see my mouse moving. The one behind it is the real one. The one in front of it was the compromised one. If you interact with that, then that's where it happens. That's where the malicious code runs. So with the recent ledger issues, downloading the DApp and running locally doesn't seem like a bad idea. Yes, indeed, Karn, you are correct. You are correct. Seems like IPFS and again, we haven't confirmed, but it seems like it's let's say it's unlikely. Again, don't use my advice to go trade or do anything else. Do not. I'm not interacting. My plans as of right now, I am not interacting with any DApp on the internet today. That's my plans as of now. However, if you go to gorealdefi.com, why not? This is your one-stop shop. It's been I've heard Crypto Coffee and Somi have called it this, I believe. And these are IPFS apps. You can verify. You click verify hash. You can verify yourself that the official and the site hashes are the same. What the website's entire hash itself should look like is the same. Click on Hex app. I'm not going to connect to it or anything right now, but if you go to view page source, 21 lines of code, doesn't get more audible than that. Auditable than that. You see, the only thing it does is point to this website and make it pretty, but point to this website, make it full screen. This is actually the code that makes it, gives you the advantage of this is literally just showing you the entire page of what this is. All it does is point to it. You don't connect your app to my website. You don't do any of that stuff. Only thing you can do is see, all right, it says I'm already connected to PulseChain, but if I weren't connected to PulseChain, it would say connect wallet, and then you connect wallet. But all it does is switch network. All it does is switch your network. You do not connect a wallet to the website. And you can click buy PLS here. It goes to gopulse.com/buy. Gives you different options here. Anyways, why was I talking about that? Oh yeah, because IPFS. And then again, if it's a package IPFS app and it didn't pull from CDN, which I don't think it would if it's a packaged app, right? I haven't made a packaged app, but from what people are saying, from what I understand, that makes sense. And they didn't package it between this time when it was compromised, or I guess between 11 and this time, so 5 hours sometime. Then I don't think it would be effective. Not 100% sure, but it seems like it's unlikely. So IPFS for the win. Yes. Crypto Bindu. Good to see you, man. Appreciate that. I hope this helps people. Like, I know if I woke up and didn't know anything about security, I would be like, somebody tell me about this. So I'm hoping this is helpful for everyone. Okay, I'm not going to go too much longer. Get your questions in, and I will try to answer that. Yes. Ledger software is built in DAPPS. So interesting nuance there. Yes, Hexhodl. So the question from that would be, are the Ledger DAPPS themselves from like Ledger Live and stuff pulling from CDN? Ooh, yeah. So I would not only would I not use any DAPPS until I'm 100% certain that everything is, all the websites have updated all the DAPPS and stuff. I would not use the Ledger software. I personally would not use Ledger software because, they could be pulling stuff could have pulled stuff that's compromised. Although they've updated things, they've updated software, but they need to come out again. Ledger needs to come out. If they have, tell me, post it in the chat. They themselves need to come out and be like, hey, we're good now. It's all been fixed. Shout out to Pulse Bridge, reduced 0%. That's pretty cool. Sloth, what's up, Sloth, man? Sloth is one of the biggest brains in the community. Appreciate you, Sloth. I had a great stream yesterday. If you guys haven't seen that, boy, that's the best stream I've had for a while. Got some monster big brains on yesterday. Got to talk some cool stuff. So if you have Walk connected already, it's okay. Let's just box pop up. Yeah, so this is not about revoking permissions or what. You know what? You couldn't even go to the website to revoke your permissions because revoke.cash was down, but now it's up. That would be funny if, I mean, not funny, but isn't that like this crazy universe thing where it's like, if people thought, hey, I could just go revoke the permissions, I'll be fine, but they go to the website that's also compromised to revoke the permissions, and they get double hacked. Oh God, these guys, well, stop stealing people's money. You know, just stop stealing money. Go make plenty of money. Go make your own money. Go buy good products. Not financial advice. Don't go buy good products. Go do your own research. That's helpful, right? Wallet already connected. It's okay. Just let your block pop up. Yes. From what I understand, let me go back to this one. Yeah, from what I understand, so if I were to think about this and say, okay, I've already got my wallet connected to whatever. Let's say I got my wallet already connected to a website that may be compromised. If it's already connected to it, I've already connected to the legit app. So to get compromised, I would need to go back to the website that is compromised now, that may not have been, if it's compromised when I connected to it, that's already, let's assume that didn't happen. Let's say I connected to it 3 days ago when it wasn't, the timeline says it wasn't compromised. Now, in order to get compromised, I would have to go there again, and I have to still have the code, and I would have to click on the malicious, thing, malicious box, and go through that whole process. So yeah, it will not be, I'm personally not worried about anything I've already connected to. Is my wallet going to get drained? Well, if you listen to the stream, then you should know the different ways that it wouldn't get drained. And general advice, general consensus is stay off the internet today. Well, yeah, general advice is not connect to any DAPPS with any of your wallets until all the websites you use have officially confirmed that they are not malicious, or have not been affected by the malicious code. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Centralized stuff, right? I mean, there's definitely cons to decentralization too. Obviously, like we've felt those, right? I had to make Go Real DeFi in an attempt to help people have a easier life clicking buttons and stuff. So, all right, Ledger push update. Appreciate that, Hexodal. Let me check out the Ledger update. Let's go to, went from revoke. Let's go to .com/ I will not use x.com. Ledger. All right. Malicious version of the file is pressed genuine version around 2. Okay. To PM CST. New genuine version will be propagated soon. Private comp. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Sure, they'll have some comprehensive report come out. In the meantime, we'd like to remind the community to always sign your transactions. Remember, the addresses, information in your ledger screen is only genuine information. Difference between your screen showing your ledger device immediately stop transaction. Yes, that is one of the biggest things. Like hardware wallets are like 2FA, or like there's they help you generate seeds off a computer. So in case your computer's compromised, your seeds aren't compromised. And they give you that, hey, I got to press a button. I got to look at the screen. I got to make sure the address is the same. They give you that other authentication too. So if your computer is compromised, they can't just drain your wallet without pressing a button. That's why hardware wallets exist, for those two things. Secure seed generation, basically 2FA on transactions. Cool. All right, I think that's it. I'm pretty hungry. I'm gonna go have some breakfast. This coffee is not filling me up, but help me talk real fast sometimes. Yep. All right, everyone. That's all I got. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you understand more about the issue and stuff now, and hopefully it'll be resolved very soon. We get back to normal stuff. So Until then, Scivive and 5555. We are out.